Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Sammy here with another video, and in today's video I am going to be talking to you guys about my goals. We have hit a mark in the year where it's time to refresh some things with a new quarter coming up, but not only have we hit a new quarter, we have hit the midpoint of 2023, which is super exciting. Depending on how you look at it with your goals and whether you are doing things or not doing things. I feel like it can be exciting no matter what though. But with that, I am doing a mid-year goal refresh. I, in the past, have really just looked at it quarterly, but I really felt the need to kind of like look back at my goals I set in December, January, and change them up a little bit because I am not the same person I was January 1st. None of us are. And some of the things that I wanted or I thought were important aren't important anymore, or things have shifted, things have changed. And so I wanted to acknowledge that and celebrate that, but also fix things to where I am still improving and I'm not just in this like weird limbo area of life. So I am going to be sharing with you guys my goals. We're going to review annual goals, and I'm going to share with you my process really of how I decided to change up my goals in some ways and rewrite them, because I feel like it's very important, even if they stay the same in some ways, that we rewrite our goals just to help us commit to them. So for this year, if you are new here, I have been using the Moxie Life goal setting system. I started using this back in January, and when I bought this planner, I told myself, this is the only planner you are going to be using. And now I laugh at myself as I'm surrounded by all the other planners I've bought in the last couple months, because that's not the case. But as you can see, this thing is really thick, and I'm going to be talking more about this in another video when I talk about my updated planner stack, because things are changing. More on that. But it's really thick, and it's kind of annoying. Like, that's how thick it is, and we're not even like all the way through the year yet, and it's really big. But I still decided to stick with this for some goal setting aspects. But I was flipping through this the other day because I wanted to reconnect with who I was when I did all this prep work and setting things up. And I still feel like I'm the same in some ways, and I can definitely make some changes still, but I do feel like I'm a changed person in a lot of ways too. One thing that I want to say it's a slap in the face. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But my word of the year I wanted to be was build, and I feel like I am building a better life for myself. I definitely do feel that. But I don't know. I just don't really get the whole word of the year thing. I'm probably always going to have a word of the year just because that's what we do. But I am trying to think of other ways that I can build myself up. And maybe that's it, is I need to think of it more as how can I build myself up internally? Like, I don't know. That's a whole life self-discovery thing that I need to do. But let's go ahead and flip to the annual goals. If you're not familiar with Moxie Life, they have their annual goals on the front. And when I was flipping through this, I was like, wow, this is super pretty. And that's really all I thought, was how pretty it was. But I don't know. I really haven't looked at this page. And like the questions on the side, I feel like were really beneficial, especially when I was refreshing things. But I don't know what I was thinking when I was doing this, other than it was aesthetically pleasing, and that was basically it. It was a cute picture for Instagram. But I was looking at this and I was trying to really incorporate that word build. And Once again, I feel like that's a great word. I feel like I can still use that word, but I don't know. There's some changes I feel like that are coming that I need to make. But for personal, I wanted to build time for myself. And when I just read that focus, build time for myself, it's like obvious of what that means, but I also feel like it's very like open-ended. Like, hey, well, how am I going to build time for myself? And then all my questions are about my mornings and prioritizing things that make me happy. And I can see from here, it's really just like having hobbies and me time and my routine. And so I feel like routine-wise, I'm doing okay. So I feel like I can check that one off. In fact, I am going to check it off because I posted this to Instagram like 6 months ago and now I can make a mess of it. So I feel like I'm doing that. Having me time, I feel like that's come and go a little bit. With being a mom, for those that don't know, me time is kind of hard, and you can have your partner help out, obviously, but there's just like that connection or like guilt or shame that I feel when I have time for myself. So I'm still learning how to get over that in therapy. And I feel like having me time and building hobbies, they kind of go together, because when I'm having time for myself, I'm usually doing something that I like to do, like reading, painting. I haven't really painted at all this year though. Playing in my planner, whatever. And so I feel like really the focus here is having me time, and not only having me time, but to like fill my cup in a way. So I'm actually going to write that out. Fill my cup, because you can't pour from an empty cup. That's what I always tell myself, because I am the type of person that I give and give and give, and then I barely have enough for myself, and I'm on empty all the time when I'm trying to take care of myself, and that does not work. And so this was kind of my process as I was going through each of these. I'm going to quickly read through the rest of my goals and show you my process. I kind of went a little rogue there when I saw that. But with fun recreation, it was build a year full of memories. Working and learning was build myself through learning. Family was build my relationship as a wife and mom. My health and wellness was build a better version of myself. Spiritual is build my relationship with God. Financial is to build a healthy relationship with money. And physical environment is build a space we love. And so, as you can see, I try to be very fancy and aesthetically pleasing with my wording and incorporating my word of the year. And I thought that these were perfect goals, but now that I'm looking at them, and these are fine the way they are. Like, if you write goals like this and you achieve things, that's awesome. I'm looking at this, I'm like, hey, what the heck does any of this mean? Like, obviously build a healthy relationship with money, but how? And I know I kind of break that down here, but I feel like I need more like concrete, very explicit goals. And so I looked at that, and I have my notebooks that I've been using all year. This is it's just an Erin Condren notebook. And I just have a vegan leather cover on it, just because I'm never planning on taking the cover off. We're going to put Moxie Life over to the side, because I want to share this with you. And so I pulled this out, and I decided to break things down. And so I would write out the goal in the area of life. Okay, I talked about what is working. So I feel like when you are doing this, you need to identify what's working with this goal. Okay, what's not working. So first off, what is working? I feel like my hobby of planning is working. Okay, I feel like routines are working somewhat. This is kind of a hard time to judge that, because in the summer, I don't really know what day it is, because I'm a teacher and I'm just enjoying summer break. But I feel like there are some things working when I'm building time for myself. What is not working? Not making time or effort to make the time for myself, okay? So one of my biggest things, because I like to give and give and give, is when I could have time for myself, I'm not vocal about it. Like I know my husband wants to help me out and he knows that I struggle with this. But he has told me, he's like, if you need a break or if you need time to yourself, let me know. And I don't let him know because I feel guilty and shameful about that. And so I don't do it. And so that's on me 100%. Not making the time or the effort to make time for myself. I don't schedule anything. I don't communicate that. I just trudge on until I'm ready to have a mental breakdown. And I'm like, hey, I need some time. And then the 20 minutes that I could be giving myself every day, I try to give myself once every like 3 or 4 weeks. That's not enough time to recharge. And so I know I need to work on that. So then I went back to those questions. For some of these, I went back to the questions that I wrote down and I answered those. But really the biggest thing is to identify what's working, what's not working. Okay, and then I decided to, from all this, rewrite it. So my goal now, I want to fill my cup. Okay, my goal is I need to make sure that I am giving myself time, filling myself up. And then why? Why do I want to do that? I need to focus on filling my cup because you can't pour from an empty cup. And too often I am. What's the outcome of this? A happier, more balanced Sammy. Okay, I will be more happy and feel more balanced in life if I'm giving myself time to breathe, because everyone needs that time and I don't give myself the time. So how am I going to do this? Okay. I'm going to focus on my routines. I'm also going to communicate when I need alone time. Okay. So I feel like part of the routine thing that I want to work on is waking up earlier to give myself that little time. So that's why I wrote mind over mattress, especially in the summer. I have an alarm set for 6 o'clock. Okay. I normally wake up at 5 during school and when I'm working. But for the summer, I was like, 6 would be a good time. I can still be in a routine. You guys, I have only woken up at 6 o'clock once this whole summer. And it was because I had a work meeting that morning. Okay. This mind over mattress thing is huge, I feel like, for myself. Like, if I just got up instead of just ignoring it or giving myself an excuse, I would have so much more time. And so that's kind of what I did with that. Okay. And so I did this with all of them. I decided to kind of like skip the questions and figure things out. Some things came a little bit more naturally, so that's why I didn't like write everything out as explicit and detailed as that first one. But like for fun and recreation. Okay, my goal at the beginning of the year was to build a year full of memories. Okay, that's fun, but what kind of memories? Okay, and so I changed that to just complete my seasonal bucket lists. Okay, I've made seasonal bucket lists in my planner, and that's what I want to focus on, is completing those. I feel like that is one way I can make memories, and especially with the season of life and my family dynamic, with having a toddler and working, just having little activities that we can plan throughout each season, a great way to make memories. Okay, why? To build seasonal memories and traditions, because some of these things I want to do every year. Outcome: live more and appreciate life. How? Schedule items on list in my planner. So for work, I had build myself through learning, and I wanted to change that to build a positive mindset in classroom. Just because I feel like naturally, as a teacher, I'm going to be learning things, okay? I'm very open to learning. That's not something I struggle with. What I'm struggling with right now is having that positive mindset as a teacher and in my classroom, making sure that my students at least see that positive mindset so they can choose to have one. Why? Because I want to enjoy my job and have my students enjoy my class. The outcome, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm enjoying teaching a little bit more because it's been rough the past couple years. And so how, and then I broke that down. Okay. Family. It was build my relationships as a wife and mom. And when I looked at this closer, I feel like my relationship with my daughter is pretty solid. I mean, she's 2, okay? We're doing things as a family. I do things with her one-on-one. She and I have routines together. I mean, in the summer, we're like with each other 24/7. I feel like my relationship with her right now is in a good spot as her mom. And I feel like I am trying to enjoy motherhood a little bit more. But the relationship with my husband, I feel like in a marriage, you're always going to need to be working on things, okay? And I feel like right now in my relationship, it's that communicating and spending time together piece. With having a young child and we're both working, my husband is going back to school. I've talked about going back to school and getting my master's degree. Like, we don't spend a lot of time just me and him together doing something or talking. And with communication, it's really just like at the beginning, me communicating when I need alone time or communicating things throughout our day. It's more like emotions and feelings rather than, hey, on Friday we have this that's going on. It's more like, hey, I'm feeling frustrated when this happens and things like that. Because we're both passive aggressive people and we don't like to make waves, and so we both struggle with that. I didn't fill out the why or the outcome just because I already kind of know that, and I didn't feel like I needed to fill that out. But then I did break it down a little bit with date nights, create time for conversation, okay, and have like that known distraction time before bed. Health, I already knew this one. I've been thinking about my health goals for a while now, and I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, the fancy version of this was build a better version of myself. And I feel like that is so open for interpretation. Like, okay, well, how am I going to be better than I am right now? I want to lose 30 pounds, okay? I've talked about this in a couple other videos. I made a health tracker in my life planner, and I am just ready to lose the weight. I think 30 pounds is a good place to start. I obviously want to lose more than that, but I feel like in a year, 30 pounds is a good start. And I feel like I could maybe lose more once I incorporate some better, healthier habits. But this is the focus right now, is to lose 30 pounds. And I feel like I can do that. And why? Because I want to be healthier. I want to enjoy my life more. I want to be more active again. And so I'm really excited about that one. Spiritual, it was build my relationship with God. And I feel like, once again, that's up for interpretation. How am I going to do that? What's that looking like? And I sat down and talked to my husband a little bit more about this one. And within our church and whatnot, we have the temple. And we want to get our temple regimens renewed so we can start going again and feel closer to God in that regard. And so we have some things that we need to do, specifically just paying our tithing and making sure that we're going to church every week, which since we've moved, going to church has not been an issue. And so we're making those changes, but that is just one way that I feel like I can get closer to God in my life. With financial, build a healthy relationship with money. I just changed that to follow a monthly budget. And then physical environment, build a space we love. This was back when we lived in our older house, okay? And I remember writing down this goal because I have talked with my husband forever about moving, and it's never happened. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to look at this from the perspective that we don't move. I'm stuck in this old house for who knows how long, and I need to find ways to enjoy that space. And so I looked at decluttering and redecorating, things like that. And we ended up moving this quarter, okay, in quarter 2, which was unexpected, but I'm super grateful that it actually happened. And so I've changed that because I'm in now a space that I really do love, and it's organized, it's clean. So I just want to follow that cleaning schedule. And I also just want to have, I'm going to write this down, have orderly spaces, okay? Because I know things are going to get messy. And this also goes with like our cars, things like that, okay? And so I went through, I brainstormed my quarterly goals, and I did my refresh, which we'll quickly talk about. So that's kind of the process, is I looked at what's working, what's not working, and then I broke things down. I rewrote things in a way that felt good for me, at least. And so looking at this, I don't know. I don't really fill these out every time. I fill out what I feel like I need to. But one thing with goal setting, I'm going to say, is especially like a system like this, or even like the power sheets, there's a lot of reflecting. And I get that that's a part of goal setting. But at the same time, I don't know. I just want to find like a very streamlined and like simple process. Sometimes this just feels very overwhelming and repetitive, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just being picky, but I don't know if this is what I'm going to be using next year. I'm going to finish out at least the goal setting stuff this year in this planner to get my money's worth out of it. But anyway, that's beside the point. So here's my monthly reflection. It's basically just me talking about editing and revising my goals, which is what we're doing in this video. So here's my Q2 quarterly compass. Okay, so I filled this out last night, and currently I'm very happy with myself. So personal hasn't changed. Fun has changed by 1 point. And then work and learning and family changed by 1. Health even changed. Okay, so like I increased basically in every area except finances. Home and like physical environment jumped a lot. I was at a 4 and now I'm at an 8. So like I feel like I'm in a good place right now. And that's why I also feel very confident that I can rewrite my goals and find some change there. And so really my focus is going to be on my health. My health was low. It was a 5. It's been between a 5 and a 4 all year. And I'm just ready to change that. So I'm actually going to put a star by health and wellness. I also wanted to focus on fun and recreation. And I don't remember what else I wrote down. But those 2 for sure. So what I do now is, and we'll come back to this whenever I do like my monthly goal videos, which I'll do July monthly goal videos in a separate video. But I wrote down some quarterly goals. So at the end of September, I want to accomplish all of these things. And I feel like breaking things down from annual to quarterly has really helped me this time, because I haven't done this before. But it's really helped me see like, hey, in personal, I want to read 3 books. That's one way I can fill my cup, is to read 3 books and enjoy that time by myself. And so I'm going to take these and then break things down each month. And this is what is going to help me know what I need to do each month in my monthly goals. And so I'm going to keep this here. I just wrote this on the back of the quarterly compass. And then we have our July section, which, like I said, I'm going to do July goals in a different video. I just really wanted to take that time to show you my process. The one last thing, can you guys see? Like, I can't even close this thing because it's so big and so annoying, and the coil drives me insane. But one last thing before I end. So I did some more breakdown. I brainstormed some stuff with my health and what I want to do there. I kind of looked at already what I want to do in July. And I want to rewrite my goals. Okay, I talked about this at the beginning, but we are going to rewrite them from the super flowery, aesthetically pleasing wording to exactly what I want to accomplish in the next quarter. Or really, these are more like annual goals, like the next year. This is what I want to do. Okay, and I honestly feel like these can change as much as you want. Like, you're a growing, changing human being, and you don't need to stick to something for 12 months, especially if it's not working. That's one thing that I've had to tell myself. And so for personal, we are just going to focus on filling my cup. Okay, I want to fill my cup. I am going to put a little star and write hobbies. And then I'm also going to write intentional morning to remind myself about my waking up earlier, that mind over mattress type of mentality. For fun and recreation, we are going to write complete. I'm just going to write, seasonal bucket lists. Okay. For work, we are going to create a positive working mindset. Okay, for my relationship, I'm going to write communicate feelings and spend one-to-one time with Sean, who is my husband. Obviously, I don't know why I said that, but for health, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. Okay, spiritual, I am going to renew temple recommend. For financial, we're going to focus on following a monthly budget. And then for physical environment, we are going to have orderly places. I'm going to put a star on home and cars. Okay, and so these are my goals. This is what I'm going to focus on for the time being, and I just love that freedom and just the empowerment I'm feeling from being able to rewrite these things. So just to recap, if you want to spend some time and refresh your goals, look over what goals you already have, if you have any, okay, and evaluate them. Look at the wording of the goals, evaluate what's working within that goal, what's not working, how can you reword it, what can you change, what can you let go of and be okay of letting go of, and then go through that process of rewriting it. And then once you've gone through everything, you've kind of made a plan of what you want things to look like, come down and get a notebook out or somewhere in your planner, wherever you're keeping your goals, and rewrite them. And it will just make you feel so much better. Let me know if you have any questions below. I also want you guys to comment on a goal, whether it's an annual goal, quarterly goal, whatever, that you are excited to be working on, continually working on, in the comments below, so we can celebrate those successes. I think the one thing I'm mostly excited about is starting my journey with my health and losing that weight, just so I can feel happier and healthier as a person. And so that's what I'm mostly excited about. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really love this little community I've built on Instagram and here on YouTube, and so thank you so much. Please like this video if you found it helpful, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my planning content here on YouTube. And until next time, guys, I will see you all later. Bye.